Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be discussing the best NFL Hall of Gamers without a Super Bowl ring. Make sure to watch it until the end guys, it's gonna be amazing. Also, like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. So let's get into it. As the NFL gets ready to declare the freshest inductees into the Hall of Fame, we are again reminded of how championships are viewed as a definitive proportion of achievement in any sport. A competitor who neglects to dominate the large match is without a doubt ranked underneath the comparative athletes, regardless of whether he has better career numbers. Terrell Owens was an ideal model in 2016, being disregarded for the Hall of Fame for Marvin Harrison and his Super Bowl ring. In 2017, Owens again neglected to take care of business, while Super Bowl champions like Terrell Davis and Kurt Warner were elected to the Hall of Fame. Owens finally was accepted in 2018 alongside Randy Moss, who entered in his first year of qualification with 2 Super Bowl appearances and 0 wins. LaDainian Tomlinson had the option to beat the shame of never dominating the large match and joined a somewhat short rundown of Hall of Fame players to always lose a Super Bowl. Underneath, we look since the commencement of the NFL to track down the best player at each position without a ring. Number 10. Dan Marino. Marino has become an excruciating exercise for youthful NFL players, making the Super Bowl in his subsequent season. Then, at that point, never sniffing a title again for the rest of his 17-year career. Marino's details put him in elite organization and close to the highest point of each measurable classification, including culminations 5th, passing yards 5th, and passing TDs 5th. He's just been passed as of late by similar 4 players in every class: Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Brett Favre, every one of whom have Super Bowl rings. Number 9. Barry Sanders. However, Sanders just played for a very long time, leaving at age 30. He actually positions among the best running backs in NFL history. Soiled in the terrible Lions group for his whole career, Sanders won just a single playoff game in his 10 seasons. In spite of averaging almost 100 yards a game, 99.8, in more than 153 game appearances. While he burned a few bridges by retiring suddenly in 1999, Sanders will in any case be recognized as the most slippery running back in NFL history. Number 8. Terrell Owens. This was the hardest approach to the board, as we needed to pick between 4 Hall of Famers: Charlie Taylor, Randy Moss, Tim Brown, and noted grouch Owens. We went with Owens as his interesting mix of speed and rawness made him perhaps the most skilled player to at any point step on a football field. To the weakness of his career, Owens could not keep his mouth shut long enough to lock onto a champion, compelling right out of Philly after his solitary Super Bowl appearance. Number 7. Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez trails just Jerry Rice and Larry Fitzgerald in receptions in NFL history, is 6th untouched in getting yards, and has more than 2,000, a larger number of yards than the following nearest TE, Jason Witten. It was Gonzalez and Shannon Sharp who opened the entryway for the recent fad of tight finishes as downfield dangers. He clutched his career however long he could. At the end of the day, was always unable to win the Super Bowl. Number 6. Anthony Munoz. There are not many advantageous details to outline how incredible Munoz was as a left tackle in the Bengals team of 1980. It is passed on to his peers to quantify the effect he had on the game, and they respected him with 11 Pro Bowl and 9 All-Pro appearances. It is the All-Pro rundown that really shows how prevailing Munoz was, as he made the primary team each year from 1981 to 1990 with the exception of 1984. Number 5. Merlin Olsen. Olsen's career, alongside teammates Deacon Jones and Jack Youngblood, came with the Rams' almost 50-year title drought. From 1962 to 1976, Owen was the best defensive lineman in football, making the Pro Bowl, taking all things together, yet his last season. His heavy run defense drove the Rams to different division titles and procured him the 1974 Burt Bell Player of the Year award. Number 4. Bruce Smith. The defensive end position was, by a long shot, the most profound pool on the board. Prominent players incorporate the previously mentioned Jones and Youngblood, Carl Eller, and the as of late resigned Jason Taylor, yet Smith remains over the pack. However, he had many opportunities to bring home a title. Smith's Bills teams missed the mark in 4 straight endeavors. He brought home AP Defensive Player of the Year praises twice in 1990 and 1996 and gathered a record 200 sacks before he resigned. Number 3. Dick Butkus. 8 Pro Bowls, 5 first-team All-Pros, and perhaps the best name in NFL history acquired Butkus a spot on the rundown. Butkus positions with the retiring Ray Lewis as the best linebacker of all time, yet never at any point made the playoffs in his decade in addition to career. He made his living bringing down ball carriers, however, was not only a fierce tackling machine in the center, he was likewise a pioneer, often changing games by tearing the ball out of the grip of runners he was bringing down. Number 2, Ken Houston. Ken Houston made the Pro Bowl in 12 of his 14 seasons, simply neglecting to make the crew in his rookie year and last season. In his 196 games as a player, the Hall of Famer had 49 interceptions, 21 fumbles recovered, and scored 12 touchdowns. He just at any point showed up in 5 playoff games for Houston and Washington, and his teams lost all 5. Number 1, Gary Anderson. Anderson ricocheted around in 5 teams over his 22 NFL seasons, however, never approached a Super Bowl ring. He joined the Steelers similarly as the 1970s Time Dynasty team was falling apart and saw 13 playoff teams and their seasons with a misfortune. Anderson ranks 3rd all-time in focuses scored, 4th in additional focuses made, and 3rd in field goals made. Before we get further with the video, like and subscribe to our channel to make sure you never miss any updates or videos from our channel. Also, stay tuned for what we will be discussing next in this video. In addition, here are some top NFL facts. Number 1. In school, the Notre Dame sports data director persuaded future Washington Redskins quarterback and NFL MVP Joe Theismann to change the pronunciation of his name from Theismann to Theismann, so it would rhyme with Heisman. The new Mr. Theismann would not win his Heisman, completing 2nd to Jim Plunkett. Number 2. The biggest point spread in NFL history came when 26.5 supported the Denver Broncos over the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 2 of 2013. The Jags covered, falling 35-19. Number 3. Of the 11 games since 1987 that had point spreads of 20+, the most loved has just covered twice. However, no underdogs won straight up. The Philadelphia Eagles, 24.5-point dogs to the inevitable 16-0 New England Patriots, came nearest, driving 28-24 entering the final quarter before the Patriots' touchdown gave them a 31-28 triumph. Number 4. Since no one could conquer on the realignment of the NFC after the AFL-NFL consolidation, the 5 best plans were placed into a vase and Pete Rozell's secretary selected one irregularly. Number 5. There have been games played all week long in the advanced NFL. The one Tuesday game was because of Pennsylvania blizzard. The single Wednesday game was because the NFL moved the Washington-New York Thursday night season opener, so it would not cover John McCain's speech at the Republican show. The Friday games were either Christmas or New Year's connected, with somewhere around one of those, our Kansas City-Miami matchup in 2005 occurring in the wake of being climbed a couple of days due to a storm gauge. Number 6. Walter Payton just won one NFL hurrying title in his career. Number 7. There have been 14 diverse surging champions in the previous 17 years. There were 14 distinct champions in the 27 years before that. Number 8. Those NFL hurrying champions have incorporated a wide array of men. Supreme Court Justice, actor, Rhodes Scholar, the one who scored the most well-known touchdown in NFL history, a person played on film by Billy D. Williams, a player suspended for almost the whole NFL season, and O.J. Simpson. Number 9. It took the New Orleans Saints 32 years to win their first playoff game. The 2 extension teams of 1995, Carolina and Jacksonville, played for their conference championship in their second long periods of presence. Number 10. Since 1988, each team in NFL has played in a conference championship game, except for the 13-year-old Houston Texans. So that was all for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also, let us know your thoughts about the video in the comment section.